Setsucon.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
A little sleepy, but.
Yeah. What time is it where you live?
Well, now, what is it? Like 11 o'clock now. So it's 8.
It's 3 hour difference.
Yeah.
Okay. What got you into voice acting?
Well, I started acting when I was 6, and then voice acting just became a progression because at 6 I could read, and I sounded like I was 3. So I was like, I had it down. I had the market cornered of being a kid voiceover talent. And then started doing cartoons and stuff as a kid. And then when I turned 18, the magical opportunity that is Funimation opened up, and I kind of just fell into that. And they kept asking me to come back. I don't know why. It's been great. Until they find out that I'm crazy, they're going to keep inviting me back, and I'm going to keep saying yes.
And you've done a couple other things. You've done TV.
Yes.
DJing.
I did. I was a DJ for Radio Disney.
Excellent.
Yeah.
What are those transitions like?
Well, I still am dealing with as I do on-camera work and commercial work and voiceover work and DJ stuff still. The DJing thing, you just have to keep in mind what the image of the station is, and the image of the station is constantly changing. So since I'm not a DJ anymore, that's my job, is doing imaging and doing promos and stuff and setting the tone for the station. That was an adventure because every phone call that they take, you edit it live. It's magical radio. It's crazy. But for film and TV stuff, it's more, I guess, realistic than voice acting is. Voice acting, you don't have your eyes to communicate a lot, whereas on camera, your eyes do a lot of the work. So it's just channeling different aspects and different senses to portray the same reality or style or things like that. So.
What is your favorite project you've worked on?
Oh, that's so hard. Favorite anime project would probably, I loved working on Ghost Hunt, I loved working on Fairy Tail, and I loved working on Borderlands 2. As far as that's probably been my favorite game to work on, is Borderlands. So that was an adventure. And film projects, I guess probably the most favorite, because it was the first huge project that I did, was Fast Food Nation. And I was showing up to set every day with Wilmer Valderrama and Ethan Hawke and Avril Lavigne and Patricia Arquette. There's like a new person there every day, and I was 17, so I thought I was just getting like a film with like 2 or 3 lines, and they like was going back weeks after weeks, and it was really, really cool.
And you've been acting really early. Did you have a backup plan in case somehow it fell through?
Yeah, but my backup plan was actually really not that great of a backup. I mean, I guess I always like, well, I can teach dance. My mom's a dance teacher, so she has a studio, and I could always teach dance. And then I was like, well, I'm going to go to college, and I'm going to major in art history so that I could be a historical consultant on a film. That's not really a backup plan. Like, who majors in art history? Like, I pick, like, the most ridiculous things in the world to do.
You did the voice of Knee Socks?
Yeah.
Stocking and garter belt. How was that experience?
It was so much fun. It's like a colorful, angry South Park meets Powerpuff Girls, I guess. It's so bright and colorful. It's such a fun show. And I learned so many new words because Knee Socks has no language.
Huh?
The other people get choice words to use. I get large SAT vocabulary words to use. So it was a vocabulary lesson going in there. And just getting cast in that show with the amazing cast that's working on it, I thought, is this a joke that they're like throwing me in here with Colleen and Monica and Jamie and Sabat? Like, this is just ridiculous. So I definitely was counting my blessings every time I got to work on that show.
And since they have to do regional changes,
Yeah.
Are there a lot of differences that people should expect from the English dub version?
In Panty and Stocking?
Yes, yes.
I guess probably the main one that I've caught the most flack for is the we didn't roll the R's for the rules, and a lot of people were upset about that. And I had talked to Colleen, and she's like, we weren't allowed to. The Japanese said that's a joke that was specifically for Japan, and they said not to do it here. It doesn't translate for American culture. So everybody was mad at us, and we're like, we had no choice in the matter. The Japanese would have gotten angry, and we can't make them angry.
So when voice acting comes over here, sometimes they have rules.
They do have, sometimes they have stipulations. I mean, there's been a couple of times, from what I've understood, they've had to approve the casts, which I don't think happens always, but I think for Soul Leader, and I think for One Piece for sure, Funimation sent like their favorite choices for each role, and from what I understand, the Japanese were like, this is the one that we feel best emulates what we've done and stuff like that. So they absolutely have, like, I think for Sergeant Frog, we were given kind of, this is such a culturally innovative and involved show for us. We want you to make it equally as funny in your culture. So we were given free reign to change things, and they said, and don't keep the jokes the same because they don't translate and it won't be as funny.
Do you find that a lot of people get angry though if the jokes don't?
A lot of people do get upset, and I think ultimately what I wish people would understand is we loved the shows when they were in Japanese as well. And so the last thing that we want to do is be disrespectful or not stay true to the integrity and the intent. And this is a Todd Habercorn panel, guys. We got music. Yeah, I mean, like, that's what I love about Funimation, is it's always the main focus. Just got real. This interview just got real.
Current and future projects.
There's a couple things that I'm not allowed to talk about, but I did just, I believe, get announced that I'm in Tenchi Muyo War on Geminar, which is cool. In or on Geminar, I don't know. I recorded that a really long time ago. But Wahanali was so much fun to do. Purple's my favorite color, and she has purple hair, and I mean, that's always a bonus for me. And then just auditioning for a couple of things. Working on films when they're available. There's one that's supposed to be coming out this year, but I've heard that before, so we'll see. I'm keeping on they say it's this year for sure, but that's Beyond the Farthest Star, and that's on Facebook and online, so you can look that up. So.
And most asked question probably, what advice would people looking to get into?
I think what I always say is make sure that it's something that you cannot do anything else. Because if you don't want to do anything else and you're like, I'm not going to be happy if I don't pursue this industry, then yeah, pursue the industry. But it's hard. And I mean, my biggest thing is it's like going out on a date every single day. And sometimes they're like, yeah, let's go out on a second date. Here's the job. And then other times they're like, it really is you. It's really the color of your hair that we just can't get over. And you're just kind of short. And I mean, they like pick at everything about you. And for voiceover, it's a little bit better than that, because now it's just like, no, we think your voice is a little annoying for this role, or, whatever else. But all jokes aside, it's a fantastic business. I have a lot of people that I've worked with that are amazing mentors in my life that I would not be the person that I am without. And with working in this business, it's been incredibly rewarding. It's very hard, but I wouldn't want to do anything else. So I'll deal with the getting turned down and rejected 24/7. No, I'm kidding.
When did you realize your popularity from voice acting?
I still don't understand what's happening, quite honestly. I like show up, I'm like, there's a lot of people here in this panel. Is Vic coming? And they're like, no, this is you. By myself? Wow, you guys are really nice. You don't need to be here for me. I'm just gonna ramble. So I don't know what's going on. I go to work and I'm lucky enough to do my job, and then I'm super lucky that people don't think I'm like a horrific human being and they want to come talk to me or sit and listen to me. I mean, I think that's overwhelmingly cool, and I'm very, very thankful for it. I don't understand what's happening, but I think it's cool. I mean, I was a nerd in school, so this is like overwhelming. Sitting in front of a group of people, I have to like build myself up to be like, don't say anything stupid, which I do anyway.
What do you do on your time off with yourself? Like,
Well, lately I've had a lot of time off just transitioning in working in LA and getting to know the market. So I make jewelry a lot of times. I like to work out and do yoga and probably spend far too much money shopping. I don't know. And I like to read a lot, reading and writing scripts and poetry and things like that. So.
favorite author?
Right now, I'm reading a couple of books about like the power of positivity and affirmations and things like that. So the books that I'm reading a lot are Marianne Williamson and Gabrielle Bernstein. And then I guess like I read a book called I, Mona Lisa, which I think is still my ultimate favorite book ever, like a novel. And I became obsessed with Mona Lisa. There's a picture of Mona Lisa on my screensaver on my phone. So most people have really cool things, and I have art. Hence the art history.
Good.
I'm like a little old man.
Are there any cons that you're looking forward to attending?
Yeah, I'm going to as of right now, going to one at least once a month, which is really exciting. And I just like to travel. So going to states that I haven't been to or going back and seeing the people that I've been to conventions with before, they become like family. And I love to hang out at the airport. So anytime to travel. I'm like looking forward to every convention because there's an airport involved. Most people hate the airport. I'm really in a chipper mood when I get to the airport.
What is your percentage of voice acting to live acting? Like, have you done any live acting recently, or?
Yeah, I worked on New Girl last year. And actually, when I was in Dallas, I did a lot of voiceover. I was doing like voiceover every day and voice acting all the time. And then in the last like 2 or 3 years, the percentage has kind of shifted, and it's been more of like a half and half. And then when I went out to LA, I was only focusing on camera stuff, and now voiceover is becoming part of the picture again, which is cool.
Now, do you prefer to do one over the other, or?
No, I prefer to work, just so that I'm not living in a cardboard box.
That's good.
So, yeah, I any opportunity to work, I'm all about it. And what I love about anime, specifically for voiceover, is the characters are so rich, the storylines are so rich, they're so elevated and intellectual, and there's a lot of stuff going on. And that's what I love about on-camera stuff, too. If the characters are great and the director wants to work with me, then I'm all about it.
And do you watch a lot of anime yourself?
I don't necessarily have a lot of time to watch anime in my free time, but I do watch it like every day while I'm working. And then occasionally if somebody's like, you got to watch this show, then I'll watch a couple of episodes, and then sometimes that spans into a lot more episodes. I read more manga while I'm like, at the airport waiting for however many hours because I wanted to get there early. Yeah, I don't really get to watch it as much unless I'm at work.
And what's your favorite manga? Do you have one?
Oh. Well, I love Ghost Hunt, and I actually started reading Ghost Hunt as I found out I got cast in the show, and then got ahead reading the manga because that was a great manga, and I wish they would release the two novels that are only in Japanese because I would really like to know how that story continues. And Shauna is also a really good manga, and that was actually an anime that I watched, and I was like, man, I wish they'd do more seasons of this. And then Funimation announced that they had it, and then I auditioned. I was like, man, I hope I get to do this. And luckily, I was able to make that happen.
All right, last question.
Okay.
You said you make jewelry?
Yes.
Do you sell it online, or
I don't sell it. I've had people ask about it, so that might be the next upcoming venture, is to sell some of my jewelry, because that would be fun.
Yeah.
Why
I
not,
think
right?
people would jump in.
Well, let's hope so.
All right, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great.
Mag.com.